book lovers, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another monthly book haul. These are all the romances plus a couple non-romances that I got back in May. I got a few special editions that I added to my shelves, bought a bunch of books, and just got a bunch of boxes with books. But before I get into everything that I got last month, I did want to share the sponsor for today's video. I just got this book in the mail the other week, How to Prevent the Next Pandemic by Bill Gates. So I can definitely count it as part of this book haul video. It's a nonfiction book. Obviously, it's not the typical book that I read, but I do feel like it's very relevant for what's going on today and what's been going on for the past 2 years. How to Prevent the Next Pandemic is for anyone who doesn't want to have to go through the economic stress, the devastation of this pandemic of COVID-19 ever again. It's a book that's meant to educate, to make people more aware of how to end this pandemic. And in addition to talking about how we can prevent the next pandemic using science, it also gives some insights into how we can improve health for people all around the world. So if you're looking for a nonfiction book that's very relevant to what's going on today, that talks about what we should have learned from this pandemic and what we can do to prevent it in the future, you should go pick this one up. You can learn more at the website Gate Notes, which I will link down in my description below. A big thank you to the Gates Notes for sponsoring today's video, and hopefully we all learn a little something from it. And back to the rest of my video, the rest of my haul. First, I wanted to share the 2 arcs that I got, the 2 romance arcs. I didn't get too many last month, but I am very excited about these 2. This first one is The Godparent Trap by Rachel Van Dyken. I think it's been a while since Rachel Van Dyken came out with a book that was with a traditional publisher, but this one is with Forever, who she did publish with before, but a long time ago. It's got this cute little illustrated cover, and it's about a free-spirited world traveler and a type A control freak. The heroine is this popular food blogger who travels all around the world, but then because of an accident, she becomes a co-guardian for her best friend's 2 children. And then the other co-guardian is the children's uncle. He is the type A accountant here. It actually sounds adorable. I do love romances with kids, with adorable kids. So this one sounds fun, but it has been a while since I last read Rachel Van Dyken, but I have liked her stuff. The other arc that I got is After Hours on Milagro Street by Angelina M. Lopez. I'm very excited about this one because I love this author. I read her Filthy Rich series last year and loved it, and I was so sad when that series ended, but we get a new book from her this year. It sounds like Enemies to Lovers or something like that. The main characters are trying to get ownership of this bar. She needs it to resurrect her career, and he wants to keep it from her so that he can protect the bar's legacy. It's also got the neighbors trope. The hero lives in the upstairs tenant room. So small town, enemies to lovers, neighbors. It sounds great, so I'm hoping to get to it soon. These next ones aren't exactly books, but I got some bookish candles from Hello Lovely Box. They recently launched a new line of candles, and these are the sample ones that they sent over. It's got these cute little labels and names that are book related. This is Books and Brunch. Book Girlfriend has this fresh linen smell. Book Boyfriend has like a fresh cucumbery smell, and I have no idea how to describe Book Binge, but it smells great. They're adorable though. Go check them out. I do have a discount code in my description for them. I also got some special editions in the mail. I was good and didn't like outright buy these. I traded for them. I traded a couple arcs for them that I didn't really care about anymore. But this is These Thorn Kisses by Saffron A. Kent, who I have read before, but I haven't read this one. But I do love this cover, and I am determined to try to enjoy at least one of her books. It's a forbidden romance. It might be age gap too, I'm not too sure, but it's new adult romance. The heroine is 18. She's in her last year of high school, and she meets a stranger who turns out to be none other than her best friend's older brother. And to make things even more forbidden, he is the school's new soccer coach. I got this Anna Huang special edition that just came out. This is Twisted Love. I have read this one. It's a new adult romance that I really enjoyed. It's a brother's best friend romance. The hero is like a cold alpha hero. He's very possessive and everything. It's the first book in the Twisted series, which has been pretty popular recently. This is also my second copy of this book because I own the cover with the guy on it, but this is what the pretty cover looks like. And this is the special edition of Lilac by B.B. Reed, and this is my 3rd copy of this book now. I own the original, the alternate cover edition, and now the special one. I love how this looks, which is why I really wanted it. I have read it before. It's this rock star reverse harem romance that I did enjoy enjoy. I wasn't like obsessed with it, but I more wanted this copy for the pretty cover. It's one of the few standalone reverse harems that I've read. It's almost impossible to find like a standalone one book reverse harem. But this one's a good one, especially if you love rock stars. And I got this beautiful dust jacket of A Gorgeous Villain by Saffron A. Kent. I already own the special edition hardcover, but they recently sent out this dust jacket because the original has a misspelling in the word villain. I'm obsessed with this dust jacket. I don't know if you can see it too clearly on camera, but the title, the author, and the quote on the back, they are silver foiled. I think it's so stunning. I kind of want dust jackets now on all my hardcovers with this pretty foiling. And also this cover is one of my favorite covers ever. It's from Bell Book Box, and look at the pretty sprayed edges. I haven't read this one either from Saffron A. Kent, but I'm pretty sure I heard there's some groveling in it, so it's probably going to be at the top of my TBR for her. Also got some more hardcovers from Bell Book Box. These are the hardcovers to complete the Something in the Way series by Jessica Hawkins. The first book was in one of the monthly boxes, but then this is a special box to complete the series. This one is Somebody Else's Sky. This is what Move the Stars looks like, and I think this is the final book, Lake and Manning. They're so beautiful though. I love these covers. I've only read one book from Jessica Hawkins. I haven't read the series yet, but I've heard amazing things about it. It's like an age gap forbidden romance. I also got this box that I won from Sierra Simone. It's her saint box. The side of the box says Mount Sergius Monastery, established 1888. There's a little card with the definition for saint, and the second definition says a monk in love with his older brother's best friend, which is basically what this book is about. There's this little saint journal, and the edges are sprayed red, some stickers, a priest series bookmark, and a temporary tattoo. And of course there's also the book. This is the third standalone in her priest series, which I love, though saint isn't really my favorite. It's beautiful though, and I'm very happy to add it to my priest collection. I got this new release that Catherine Nolan sent me. It's called Rival Radio. It's an enemies to lovers romance between two rival radio talk show hosts. I love how this one sounds. The hero is the one who is the romantic between the two. He hosts this romance talk show, and the heroine is the one who's not romantic at all. I love this dynamic because I don't see this enough, but it sounds great and I'm dying to read it. I've never read this author before. I also got quite a few books in the mail from some publishers. This is the graphic novel, the new graphic novel from Julia Quinn. It's Miss Butterworth and the Mad Baron, which has been an actual book that's been talked about throughout quite a few Julia Quinn books. Like, her characters have read this book, and I love that they actually came out with this comic. It's illustrated by Julia Quinn's younger sister, who unfortunately passed away. These are the books that Sourcebook sent. This is The Stand-In by Lily Chu. It was originally published as like an audio first book, and then it came out in ebook, and now finally in paperback, and I love the cover. I read this one when it came out in audio first, and it was really fun. It's an Asian romance. The main character, she looks eerily like this famous movie star, so she gets hired to kind of pretend to be her double so that the actual actress can take a break from everything. She falls in love with the actress's supposed boyfriend, who's not really her boyfriend, and it's just really fun and adorable to read. This is an early finished copy of Wicked Beauty by Katie Robert, which is her newest book in the Dark Olympus series. I've only read book one so far in Young Gods. I wasn't like a huge fan of it, but I have heard that the next two books have been a lot better. So this one is a menage. It's an MMF retelling of Helen of Troy. So it's about Helen, Achilles, and Patroclus. And this is the finished copy of A Game of Retribution by Scarlett St. Clair, which I have read. I finished it a couple weeks ago and I liked it. It wasn't quite as good as the first book in this Hades saga series, which is basically the Hades retelling of the Hades and Persephone series. The story felt kind of slow here, like there's a lot going on, but at the same time, nothing much happens. Still, I do love this Hades and the way that he loves Persephone. This is a historical romance from Alexis Hall, A Lady for a Duke. It's got a trans heroine who was best friends with the hero before she was presumed dead, but now she's come back to life. I kind of love historical romances that are like this. I mean, mostly the ones that I've read are with the heroes who were presumed dead but then come back to life, but this one has the heroine, so I'm very intrigued. I got the new Helena Hunting, Starry-Eyed Love, which is the standalone sequel to When Sparks Fly. I have have read When Sparks Fly. I thought it was okay, didn't love it, but I did love the sister dynamic in the first book. And here we get the second sister getting her romance. It's sort of like an office romance. The hero is the CEO of a company who wants to partner up with the heroine's company. But it turns out when they meet for her presentation, he's the guy that she rejected at the bar the other night. It sounds pretty good though. I do love office romances. I mean, they don't work together, but it's still this office setting. And I'm really hoping that it's better than When Sparks Fly. I currently have the audiobook downloaded, so hopefully I will get to this soon. I got these two new historical romances. A Daring Pursuit by Kate Bateman, who I still need to read because people love her. This one kind of sounds like a Romeo and Juliet historical romance because the main characters are from two enemy families. They enter this scandalous bargain where they have an affair for a week and then they go their separate ways. Like, she vows to never marry, but she challenges him to show her what she's missing from not marrying. It sounds steamy. I mean, I don't know how steamy this author is, but hopefully it's good enough. And this is Rules for Engaging the Earl by Jana McGregor. It's a childhood best friends kind of romance, which I love. The heroine is about to give birth to her late husband's baby, which means she needs a new husband stat. So then the hero gets an invitation to their upcoming wedding that he had no idea about, which sounds hilarious. But I'm such a sucker for friends to lovers, for childhood friends to lovers, so this one sounds promising. I also got these three romances from Berkeley. This is Set on You by Amy Lee, which I literally just finished today. It's a romance between a curvy fitness influencer and her gym nemesis. There are a lot of sparks between them, but then they later find out that their grandparents are getting married. It's a pretty strange kind of connection, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was really fun and cute. It's got a lot of great body positivity. It's not too steamy, unfortunately, but it's still really good for a debut. This is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. It does sound like the perfect summer read. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my TBR. It's set at this bay. It's a second chance romance. The main characters were best friends that turned into something more when they spent summers together over 10 years ago, but then the heroine has to return back to their lake for the hero's mother's funeral, and they literally only have a weekend to get back together, which sounds interesting. And this is From Bad to Cursed by Lana Harper. It's a paranormal rom-com. The main characters are arch enemies. The heroine is a demon summoner and the hero is not that. He is very good and noble. I kind of love that there's been so many paranormal rom-coms that have been out in the past year, but I will say it's been kind of hard to find one that's been really enjoyable. So hopefully I like this one. I have not read this author before. I think she had another release, another paranormal rom-com that came out last year. I got these two boxes from Entangled. Oh my gosh, it has this cute little bottle. It says Always Under the Same Sky, and there's a little chain with an airplane on it. And it's for this book, The Gravity of Missing Things by Marissa Urgo. It's a YA book, a YA romance about this flight that disappeared over the ocean, and the heroine's mom was the pilot. And then the other box is for this one. It says Spark of Ash. And it also came with another bottle. Well, this one's more like a tumbler, but I have so many bookish tumblers and bottles. I don't know what to do with them. It's another YA book, Spark of Ash by Molly E. Lee. It's part of the Ember of Night series, which is YA fantasy. I got the cheat sheet by Sarah Adams, which was originally an indie book that got picked up by a publisher. So this is the new special edition with some bonus content. It's friends to lovers and it's got fake dating. The heroine is a former ballerina and the hero is in the NFL, and they pretend to be in love for 3 weeks for publicity reasons. It sounds cute, like your typical friends to lovers, fake dating kind of romance. If anyone has read it, let me know what you think. And this one is Talk Flirty to Me by Libby Hart. This one sounds so fun and I love this illustrated cover. It's a brother's best friend romance and the main characters get a job narrating erotic romance. And not only that, their audiobook clips end up on the radio, so now their whole town is scandalized by them. It sounds great, super unique and fun. I really want to read this one. And this is the new Nora Roberts bind up. It's got two of her previous books, The Right Path and Partners. I also got quite a few books for myself. I got The Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. Book 1 is Haunting Adeline and book 2 is Hunting Adeline, and both of them are kind of huge. This one is almost 600 pages and then this one is past the 600 mark, but it's a dark romance series, very, very, very dark. I loved it though, especially the hero who is completely obsessed with the heroine. He basically becomes her psycho stalker, but it was great. great. I got The Sweetest Six by Tessa Bailey, one of her shorter books, but I mainly got it because I'm gonna see her at a Polycon in 2 months, so I need some more of her books to get her to sign. But this one is adorable. I have read it. The hero is this thick bakery owner and the heroine wants to dance on Broadway. I got the new edition of Addicted to You by Kristen Becker Ritchie. I own the original, not the original, but the second original. But I got this one because I saw that the first 2 books in the Addicted series are getting picked up by Berkeley. I've been thinking about getting the newer covers because I already own the originals, but it's a long series, which means a lot of books and a lot of money. But then I saw this was on sale and I knew it wasn't going to be available anymore. It was only going to be the publisher version, so I got it. I got one of my favorite MC romances, Motorcycle Club romances. This is Heart Recaptured by Tilly Cole. This is my favorite book in the Hades Hangman series. It's Kai and Lila's story. Kai is the VP of their motorcycle club. It's very, very angsty and very dark. I have finally completed the Madison Kate series that I've been trying to collect. I got the final book in the series, Kate, which is the biggest one. It's almost 600 pages. So I have all 4 now, which is great, and also the inside is so pretty. This one is the Dark Side series, books 3 and 4, so I finally have the entire series now. For some reason, these books didn't release individually. It's like 2 book bind-ups. So the first bind-up, books 1 and 2, and then this one is books 3 and 4. But I love the series so much. It was one of the first reverse harem romances that I fell in love with, and it's probably one of the reasons why I love reverse harem so much now. It's a fantasy romance series, fantasy reverse harem. It's pretty slow burn with the romance, I will say, but I loved it. It was hilarious, so much fun, and the ending was epic. I got another reverse harem romance that I loved. This is Pack Darling by Lola Rock. It's the first book in a duet. It's Omegaverse reverse harem, and book 2 is all about the groveling, which is why I loved it so much. I also had to get myself another Kristen Becker Ritchie book. This is the bind-up special edition hardcover of Bad Reputation. So this is the bind-up of the 2-book series, Whatever It Takes and Wherever You Are. The series was originally told in alternating timelines, so past and present, which I wasn't really a fan of. But then for this bind-up, for this hardcover, they rearranged all the chapters so that it reads in chronological order, which I personally feel like is a great choice. And also the naked hardcover has a little design on it, which I didn't even know you could do for indie books. This is the spine and the back cover. And I also got a Fallen Men book by Gianna Darling. This is After the Fall, which is book 4, I think. It's the next book in the series that I need to read. I read the first 3 and enjoyed them. They're really good MC romances, and I've been wanting to catch myself up in the series, so got myself this. I also got a couple non-romances like this gigantic bind-up of William Shakespeare works. This thing is humongous, and it's basically gonna be my coffee table book. It is really pretty though, and I do like the gold foiling on it. It's wrapped in plastic, which I still haven't even taken off. I got these 2 Stephen Lee books, which he sent me because we met at a Netflix premiere. They're YA K-pop books, which sounds so cute. This is the premiere that we met at for Along for the Ride by Sarah Dessen. They give everyone at the premiere a copy of the new edition of this book. I love this one as a teen. It's one of my favorites from Sarah Dessen, but my top favorite is still The Truth About Forever. This one is the new Emily Giffin, Meant to Be. Hide by Kirsten White, who I actually have read when I was a teen, one of her YA books, but I wasn't a fan. And The Murder Rule by Dervla McTiernan. Then this giant box came in the mail. It's for Stealing Infinity by Alison Noel. Oh my gosh, the box looks so nice. I actually used to read Alison Noel, her YA books, as a teen. I didn't love them, but they were popular, so I read them. So these are some pencils, a cute little cube necklace. This is a freaking hourglass. It looks really nice, like kind of fancy. And of course, the Alison Noel book. It's The Arc of Stealing Infinity. It's a YA fantasy, YA paranormal. It's about a school for time travelers. Grace Calloway sent me her newest historical romance in the Society of Angels series. This is Fiona and the Enigmatic Earl. I love the first book in the series, so I'm very, very excited about this one. It's a marriage of convenience between a heroine who is part of the secret society for lady investigators, and the hero is a spy for the crown. So it's like a true spy investigator kind of historical romance. Sounds amazing. And they actually enter a marriage of convenience to cover up their spy activity. And then the last few books in this haul are books that I got from some friends. My friend Desiree, who is now a famous TikToker, she gave me her extra copy of Northern Lights by Nora Roberts, and I didn't realize how big it was. My birthday present from my friend Sarah finally arrived. It's this hardcover of The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's the hardcover with all the fancy stuff going on for it. It's the 4th book in the Blood and Ash series, and I still have not read it. I started it, but I never finished. But look at how pretty this hardcover is. All the gold foiling, the design. This is the interior. It's signed by JLA, and there's also some very, very nice artwork in it. This is some fan art of Cass, and this is Poppy. And this last final box is also from Sarah. These are my Christmas gifts. So it's Christmas in May/June. These are all historical romances that I requested from her, and it's been so long that I completely forgot what I asked for. But here we have all my Christmas books, and they're all individually wrapped, which was so sweet. Thank you, Sarah. I kind of hate ruining wrapped gifts, but here we go. I've been collecting Kat Martin. For anyone who didn't know, I have a bunch of her original covers now. This is one of the few original covers that I was missing, Natchez Flame. It's one of her westerns, and oh my gosh, I love this cover. Also, another author I was collecting, Stephanie Lawrence. This is one of the few that I needed with a step back. Like, I own the edition with no step back, which is so annoying, but this is A Rogue's Proposal with this step back. It's another one of her Sinster books, which I've been loving. Another Kat Martin that I needed for my collection, this is Innocence Undone with this 2-page step back. The heroine looks amazing here. Another Stephanie Lawrence book with a step back. This is A Lady of His Own with this beautiful step back, this gorgeous ocean-side step back. It's part of her Bastion Club series, which I have not read yet. A Jennifer Ashley book. I love Jennifer Ashley. Her Mackenzie series is amazing. This one is Rules for a Proper Governess, which is one of the McBride's books. They're like the Mackenzie cousins. I'm pretty sure this is the last Joanna Lindsay book that I needed with a step back. It's Home for the Holidays, and it's got this beautiful step back. Highlander Ever After by Jennifer Ashley. I completely forgot I even wanted this. But this one is one of her earlier books, I believe. It's not part of the Mackenzie McBride series, but it's still Highlander, which I do love. A Judith McNaught book, Night Whispers. I know people either love her or hate her, but I love her. I've only read 2 of her books, but they were so, so good. This is not one of her historicals though. It's one of her contemporaries, which I still need to try, and I'm thinking I'm going to start with Paradise. This is the original cover of one of my all-time favorite historical romances, The Madness of Lord Eden Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley. I own the new cover, but I've been wanting to find myself the original, and luckily Sarah's bookstore had it. And this is my final Christmas historical romance gift. I forgot how many Highlander romances I requested, but this is another favorite of mine. It's one of the first historical romances that I ever read. It's In Bed with the Highlander by Maya Banks. It's the first book in the McCabe trilogy, and it is so freaking good. The hero is a single dad, and the heroine kind of saves his clan. It's so good though. It's one of the reasons why I fell in love with historical romance a long, long time ago, and why I love Highlander romances especially. But that is it for my book haul for May. These are all the books that I got last month. As always, let me know if you read any of these books or authors. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!